Thank you for watching this recording, which really explains to those who are interested in doing the course with us, the Interior Castle, an online course over 48 weeks beginning in January 2014. But let us just look at some of the background and how this came about. The author is an exceptionally interesting person, Teresa of Avila. Entering the Castle is many things. It's a guide to the life and times of Teresa of Avila, the extraordinary 16th century saint and contemplative master. A guide to her brilliant meditations text, the Interior Castle, and last but certainly not least, a guide to your soul, a beautiful, tender, radiant, caring, loving and authentic guide to the territory of your soul. Mysticism in general and contemplation in particular are such staggeringly vast and often confusing topics that they can often appear confusing topics, that especially if one is new to either of them, they can prove lethally overwhelming to the soul, right when it is looking for something. If not exactly simplistic, then at least simple enough to ground what might be its confusion, chaos, perhaps fear, perhaps suffering. What I would like to do during these 42 weeks is to introduce you slowly, sensitively, and using my experience as a contemplative Franciscan monk to reawaken within your heart that divine mystery. The soul is the gateway to your God, but your heart is the gateway to your soul. Teresa of Avila leaves us a blueprint for the soul, the Interior Castle, to ascend through various levels she calls mansions. The central ideas, if discussed merely theoretically, can sound rather dry and abstract. Here are the 7 central ideas. 1. Each of us has an outer self and an inner self. 2. The inner self lives in a timeless, eternal now. 3. The inner self is a great mystery of pure emptiness and unknowingness. And 4. The inner self is divine or perfectly one with infinite spirit in a supreme identity. And number 5. Hell is identification with the outer self. And 6. Heaven is the discovery and realization of the inner divine self, the supreme identity. And finally, number 7, the divine self is one with the all given in grace and sealed in glory. I would like to share with you some of the topics we will be discovering over the 48 weeks. But first we take on board that the entering the castle, your soul, it's an inner path to God and your soul, not an inner path to Christianity or Muslim or Buddhism, but it's an inner path for the pilgrim in search of their God through their soul. We look, as part of that preparation for the journey, Mystics Without Monasteries, approaching the castle, readying the soul, crossing the drawbridge, the key to the castle. In part 2, the soul's journey looks at the various mansions, which are 7, the power of prayer, humility, chaos, and divine seduction. In the 2nd mansion, God in the details. And the 3rd mansion, surrender. The 4th mansion, the mystical heart. The 5th, dissolving into holiness. The 6th mansion, essential wisdom and the final fire. The 7th mansion, divine marriage, healing and re-entering the world. But each mansion is broken down to allow the soul identify its personality, its sense of purpose. Why am I here? Who am I? And so many of us live in fear. And fear, as you know, is an illusion, but it destroys so many lives. As I've explained, it's an inner path to God via your soul. So let your castle become the sacred ground beneath your feet. Live the power of your soul. Listen to and follow the voice of your soul, not your head or ego. And remember, you are not alone. No higher purpose in this life exists than to be called into a mystical relationship with the divine. To do the course, you don't have to become a member of the Teo community. You can do it privately with supervision, one-to-one supervision, which I will provide for you by telephone or Skype each week for 20 minutes. But there's a cost for that. But if you're unwaged, then I do offer a bursary in exchange for energy. The second option is for those who wish to become oblates, non-vowed members of the community, who are living a spiritual life as Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Christians, Jews, but who wish to be a part of a family where they can benefit from the prayer life of the monastics living as Interfaith Franciscans. And though that course is free, we do ask for a donation. And the 3rd and 4th option really is for those wishing to become a tertiary oblate. A tertiary oblate is one who undergoes the 2-year novitiate training and at the end take their 7-fold vows, dedicating their life to God, to live the monastic life whilst holding down a full-time job, but in their private life they're dedicated to God. All that information is on the Teo website. Just Google Interfaith Franciscans, click on the membership page, scroll down, and there you will see the 3 types of members. Spiritual affiliates are those already in service to God as nuns, monks, priests, rabbis, imams or vicars. The 2nd is oblate, non-vowed, and the 3rd is tertiary oblate, one who is willing to train to become a monastic. I've supported many people on this course, and I prefer to do it not in a group but individually, though the presentations will be online from my live stream channel, the Barefoot Franciscan Monk, our virtual TV channel. But I do offer you the facility for support, and that is on a one-to-one. Those whom I have supported have done the course in a group, but when they've come to do the interior castle as part of their spiritual formation as novices in our community, it has blown them away. Yes, they've had to face their demons, their reptiles, but at the end of it, they're truly liberated, set free. They know who they are, a child of God. They know where they're going, to nirvana, and they have the tools to equip them. It is a beautiful course, but it's a journey. It's a journey of your heart and your soul to God. It's not religious, as I've explained. It's a spiritual journey. And although the person who created this beautiful manuscript is herself, or was, an enclosed, contemplative Carmelite nun back in the 16th century, a woman of great vision, of great wisdom, but she gave us a blueprint that would suit every child of God, regardless of their religious belief. I hope my talk with you has allayed some of your fears, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. But all I can say to you is, if you are on a spiritual journey and at times being knocked sideways and get disheartened, discouraged because you don't have a framework in place, then this course will certainly be the panacea you're looking for, because it's divinely guided, divinely inspired, divinely led, and I'm used as a vehicle to share with you from the heart to your heart. Namaste. Shalom. Inshallah Paxet Bonum. Om Shanti. Solo di Caritas. Salam Alaikum. And may the peace of your God guide you to do what is right for the journey of your soul to the Supreme.